So if you're like most recurve archers, and you probably are because you're watching this video right now, you've definitely heard about alignment, but many people are unsure exactly what it is and how to get good alignment. So I want to give some clarification on this and explain it a bit more in this video. Now, alignment isn't just one part of the shot. There are a few different parts of your shot that make up alignment, and these are all essential to get into good alignment as well. So there's not just one thing, there are a few things here. We can understand alignment best when we look from above, maybe by using a camera for example, and we can look at alignment in terms of a few key things. So first of all, let's look at good alignment, then I'll show you some examples of bad alignment, and I'll explain the key differences here and how you can shift into better alignment yourself as well. So good alignment is when the bones of the arms and the shoulders are in a good position at full draw so that the force of the bow goes nicely through the bone structure and less force is required from the muscles of the body to hold the bow at full draw and to expand through the clicker. So if we look at the bow shoulder and the draw shoulder and draw a line through these shoulders and then look where this intersects with the bow hand, you can see here that there's a nice line through all of these points. Now this is good alignment of the two shoulders and the bow hand, which is really, really good. This means that the force of the bow into the hand is going through the shoulder nicely. So this is going to require less strength to hold at full draw and less strength to expand through the clicker. It will be more controlled, and it will also help you expand in the right direction consistently. Now, if you also look specifically at the draw elbow, which is another key part of this alignment here, the draw elbow is in a good line in that you can draw another single line through the draw elbow, through the draw wrist, and then through the grip in terms of the pressure point on the grip. You can draw a line and it almost intersects all three of these points. Now again, here you can see that the forces of the bow are nicely lined up, and specifically having the draw elbow in or behind the line of that force there, and also having the bow shoulder and draw shoulder alignment, those are the two key parts of alignment that are really important. And if you can get these, then the amount of energy it takes to hold at full draw and to expand through the clicker is massively, massively lowered. So it's more likely that you're going to expand consistently in the same way and in the correct direction as well. So good alignment is all about efficiency and making sure you're in a good position at full draw, and also making sure that you smash that like button so that the YouTube algorithm will let other archers see this video as well and learn more about alignment. So that's really helpful for that. So what is bad alignment? We can understand this again from above, but specifically it normally comes in two main areas. This is the bow shoulder and the draw elbow. So a classic example, and this was me in the past too, is when you're at full draw and you might see someone shooting like this as well, but the bow shoulder is up towards the ear and it's elevated and it's back into the body. So you're shooting and you can see that this is not stable, and this is going to cause, on release, often the bow to move to the right, and there will be a lack of direction towards the target from the bow hand too. Commonly on the draw side, you might see the draw elbow is very far out of line this way, and then when the archer releases, there's not enough direction around the body, and there's not enough aggression here. So these are two common things that happen, and often you'll see them together as well. So we can look at this from above, and for the bow shoulder, what you would see is the bow shoulder is very far out of line of that previous line we drew. And then for the draw elbow, what you'll see is it's very far out of the arrow line. So these are two key things that you would need to improve in this instance to get the expansion much more clean, and then to get the release in a much more clean, aggressive, consistent direction as well. Now, bad alignment doesn't actually mean it's impossible to shoot well. It means it's much, much harder to shoot well. And this is a key distinction here, because a lot of people will see someone and say, oh, they've got bad alignment, but they're shooting well, so it must be fine. No, this just means that they're working, even though they've got bad alignment, they can still shoot well. But it's much, much harder for them to do this, and also it's much, much more likely that they will then, under pressure, they will falter because their technique is not robust and it's not using an efficient way of shooting. So there are people that shoot with bad alignment, but it doesn't mean that is the way to shoot, and it is much harder than getting into good alignment and shooting. So make the distinction between that. So I'm going to give you 3 great ways to improve your alignment. The first one is to improve your posture. I know I go on about this all the time if you've seen my previous videos, but if your posture is bad, it will be extremely hard, if not impossible, to improve your alignment. So make sure that your shoulders are not rounded, that you're not arching the back too much when you're at full draw, you're not arching the back, and make sure that your posture is good through the whole shot and your core is engaged. You can see my other videos on this, but this is really key in order to get your shoulders moving in the right way and to improve your posture and longevity in archery as well. Another way you can improve your alignment is to improve your strength. You can do this with a shot trainer, you can do this with full draw holds just with your fingers, and you can do this with bow training, with just bands and other devices like that for lower draw weight to start with. These will help you increase your strength and get into the right position more consistently. Now, the last but certainly not least way to improve your alignment is to improve your feeling. Now, this is where it's really important to use lightweight bows or bands or even nothing in your hands to get your alignment. If you can't get into good alignment with no weight in your hands, in terms of you're using a TheraBand or something super light, or even just your hands mimicking, if you can't get into good alignment like that, how do you think you're going to get into good alignment with your bow? It's not going to happen. So make sure when you're doing this, you can work with a mirror and you can align yourself into the mirror this way as if the mirror is your target, and then you can use a band or your hands just empty to check your alignment, see your shoulder alignment, see your elbow alignment, and this is a really simple way of doing this. If you have the opportunity and you have the facilities, an overhead camera is amazing to work on alignment, and I definitely recommend that. But you can also maybe get someone to take a video for you using like a GoPro on a tripod and stuff like that. There are lots of different ways to do it, but do it with lightweight bow, band, use feedback, and check it consistently, and over time you'll improve the feeling and improve some flexibility as well, which is key, for instance, in getting the draw elbow more into line. So these are some ways that you can work on your alignment, and let me know in the comments below which way you're going to do in your training. So that was a brief overview of alignment. I hope you found it useful. As always, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can find us on social media too, and I'll put the links to those below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.